Alright, so first off, I want to start by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of James Creighton Stone, and to who came out there pushing this truth in sincerity, the hopeful elect, Shalom. This is the brother Kanan from James, Jamaica. You heard a quick lesson, and this lesson today is gonna be titled, I know Venezuela is actually in support of Russia, you know, basically in the Ukraine situation. I'm going to read the article and I'm going to get a few scriptures. All right. So, everyone that is following news outlet or, in the know, basically you're watching, even if you're not on the scriptures level, once you're watching these major news outlets, you're basically seeing that America is basically out and about, trying to put certain places under their command or regime. You know what I mean? And Venezuela would have been one of those places. We are now seeing Ukraine. Ukraine been targeted all along. You know what I mean? But we're seeing Ukraine also under that regime. And while they try to, sweep it under the rug as if it's not an agenda, for those who are the chess players, they know what's taking place. So they're not ignorant and stupid, like majority of the sheeps that are watching some of these false narratives on these news outlets or some of these outlets, because there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of false news, fake news that are being placed and are being put, publicized. You know what I mean? And you now have bans on certain media outlet where you're now seeing also where Russia is basically targeting other media outlets for spreading false information and trying to put some quell on that. All right, but we're gonna get into this article, this news here that we have on screen. But that is just to show you that that people are aware that, look, this not the problem that is taking place in Ukraine is not just a one-off situation. You know what I mean? There are some major targets in the world that the America government or people think, or the government leadership thinks is important to them, and they are about destabilizing these areas, and they are doing it for a specific reason. We all know it's about greed and power. All right, so it says Russia receives Venezuela's strong support, and you make sure put the word strong there. Of course, Venezuela is always from what I can remember, an ally to Russia. You know what I mean? So let me read this. It says Caracas, Venezuela, in rear backing of Russia following its invasion of Ukraine. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro on Tuesday assured Vladimir Putin of his strong support in a telecom call, according to a Kremlin statement. It says in the call initiated by Caracas, the Venezuelan leader also condemned destabilizing action of the United States and NATO and spoke out against a Western campaign of lies and disinformation. It said these are strong allegations. All right. So we can point out a lot of places that were destabilized, and guess whose name is always going to be attached to it? Yes, America. And I mean, the Libya situation. And I mean, what take place in Syria and around Iran and them place. To guess who's always nearby? The so-called, America, Babylon. They are always there, and it's our reason. All right, let's continue. It says, what take place in Venezuela? No, have been taking place in Venezuela. There's not much light being shed on it by mainstream media, and some places like Libya and those places that are totally destabilized and people suffer and all that, America would have accomplished their agenda to some extent in some of these areas. So the media is not bringing the suffering of these people to the forefront anymore because it is no longer of that importance. They have already destabilized it. All right, and these things are things that have been practiced way back, nothing new. So these men that are these major leaders, they are not ignorant to these things. They know these things, but puppets, sheeps, are naive and silly. All right, let's continue. In the call with Maduro, Putin insisted the objectives of the military assault were to protect the civilian population of the Donbas separatist region and to get Kiev to recognize Russia's sovereignty over Crimea, which it annexed in 2014. Now, I want people, well, majority of people are going to be dumb and stupid, but as I said, this has been taking place for quite some time, but there has been a major attention in certain aspects since 2014 in that location in Ukraine, right? And if you check the information, the basically the president there, I don't remember his name, he was basically pro-Russia, all right, or he was more leaning to Russia. And what they did, they destabilized that area and basically caused that president to flee to Russia for help, basically. And they would have kept their election, and their different president would have been put to the forefront. Now we have a president today that is now basically pro NATO or pro America. So you see how that works. They push or publicize certain information out there, and it caused the change of leadership to now turn to that side. So it's just war. It's just that's how war works, and that's how America destabilized countries and put in puppets to basically go in their favor. All right. Now, what is taking place in Venezuela? America is saying that the president of Venezuela, Maduro, is not. They don't see that president or that leadership as a legitimate government. They don't see him as the rightful ruler of that country. Let's continue. And they would have seized these people assets, or trying to basically control their country. That's what America is doing right in Venezuela. All right, and they've been doing these things all over the world. So who America sees fit as their leader, that's how they work. Who they deem as rulers, if they don't see you that way, then they push their propaganda and their agenda, and it's always for a reason. Let me continue. All right. It also sought to ensure a neutral and a non-nuclear Ukrainian position towards Russia, said the statement. So Putin, based on what I've heard, you know what I mean, because it's both sides. Putin is trying to secure their back. America wants control, and America knows that Putin has a strong stand, or Russia has a strong stand on the world based on their resources for that region if they don't try to get a foothold in Ukraine, and it's just war. Same thing with Venezuela, because just go and check the market when it comes to oil reserve and oil overall. Just go check where Venezuela stands on the market. They are one of the major players out there. All right, so it's clear, you know what I mean. And also check the information of what's taking place with the gas in that area from Russia going through or going around Ukraine, or even Ukraine basically becoming a strong power with the same basically gas, where they can also support other nations. Just check that also. All right. Now let me just continue. It says after the call, let me read about this. It says it also sought to ensure a neutral and non-nuclear Ukrainian position towards Russia, said the statement. Now, if Russia is calling for a non-nuclear threat towards them, and just for some agreement to say, look here, promise us that you are not going to make NATO, Ukraine a part of NATO on certain agenda. Just give us this in writing, or some agreement, some law to say that you are not going to do this, so we cannot be assured. Just putting it that way, that this, there's other discrepancies that they're gonna have to be communicating about, but these are some of the major concerns of Russia. They want to play these concerns as false, or a mental issue of Russia, when the agenda was always this. Oh, Russia is still connected for back to history and worried about things that no one is caring about. Hell, like, seriously? If that's the case, then give Russia the assurance that they are requiring. Put it in writing that we will not be doing this. No, they won't, because it is done under Sykes. All these peace talks and all these we care about the Ukrainian people, which Biden clearly don't know Iranian from Ukrainian, or is just going in the head. You know what I mean? If it's all about that, then do it. But no, they're just doing it under a Sykes. It's not what you are being told. Alright, for most part. Alright? Says, let me continue. After the call, Maduro published a message on Twitter with a photograph of him and Putin, and said he also told the Russian leader Venezuela was in favor of understanding and dialogue as a way to preserve peace. So everybody is talking about peace. They want peace, of course, but they know the games that are being played, and they know what may be the cost for this peace. It says Venezuela, along with Cuba and Nicaragua, all targets of United States sanctions, are allies of Moscow. Alright? We all know this already. Right? The United Nations, I remember, when Putin in the Cold War, near the Cold War time, in the Cold War time period, remember the Cuban crisis, missile crisis, when Russia was going to send missiles to Cuba. What happened? America got mad, nearly create World War III right there. So this is no joke, but again, they want make, alright, since that America, let's look at it this way. For those who are listening, look at it this way. If Russia decide to strengthen Cuba with missiles, or go against whatever treaty they've signed back then, America would be in uproar or get crazy. You know what I mean? At this point. Because it is all about geopolitics, protection, who's going to rule, who's want to continue to rule, who want to have the dominance. You know what I mean? Resources. But let's continue. It says the United States and dozens of other countries do not recognize Maduro's 2018 re-election, which they say was fraudulent. So when them said fraudulent, them decide who them recognize, and when them say it's not, they decide who they recognize. So they want to decide who are the rulers of the world, if it's important to them. Alright? During an interview in December, Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei, I'm gonna butcher that, so, would not rule out Moscow sending forces to Venezuela or Cuba if diplomacy failed with the United States over Ukraine. So Russia is saying, look here, man, if UNO no back off or chill, we not rule out, say, we not go stack up Venezuela or Cuba if we no think about what we are got you right now, because we're gonna play the same card on you, and then you're gonna see what the world is gonna say. Right? So people are not even looking into this situation like they should, because you are sheep. You're not learned. You're not following the projection of what is really at stake. Now let me get to scripture here. You know what I mean? So, and the Bible tells that Russia is going to be a guard unto these nations, yo, to many of these nations, which are going to be allied to Russia. And many people that aren't even allied to them as yet will turn an alliance because, again, in war, people switch side. In war, the narratives change and people switch side. So very soon, people are going to see America for what it is, a destabilizing country. And yes, NATO is a part of it because you have some countries that are well aligned with America, that are even pushing the agenda. But they're gonna lose so much that they're gonna turn against America. They're gonna see that America is really the bad apple, right? No, let me, because look again, even America is pushing or supporting Ukraine to take up arms or to fight. They ain't be out there supporting Ukrainians like they should, or they would want to, or they are giving Ukrainians false hope or false belief in this type of fight. You know what I mean? Because they want the war. All right, but let me just get some scripture real quick because I know I've been talking a long time. All right, so this is Micah 2 and verse 2. It says, woe, let's start from 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. America, NATO, right? The so-called white man overall. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses. They covet fields, oil field, what kind of field with resources, when it's a field, they covet it. You know what I mean? But yeah, me if you have that, like what Trump said, we should take the island, we should take everything, and then go over in the Middle East. Being bold and, anyways. And houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. They covet fields and they take them away. By violence, war. They use war to take these fields, these houses, these people homes that they have nothing at all to do with in the big speech of bringing peace. Oh, they're not bringing democracy to the country, so we're gonna go there and push our democracy there and take their fields, because that's democracy. That's how America operates, and the world is waking up to it. Well, a good amount of the world, but a lot of you people are still blind and naive. Oh, me have people live in America, so you support America. Oh, America, me know American background, I support them. You're not looking to the story or the real meaning, you're not listening to both sides. You're not trying to see what's Russia concerned, what's America concerned, where's the neutral ground between this, who is refusing to do what and why. You're not looking into these questions, and that's why you're lost in this whole agenda. All right, now, and I mention of Ezekiel 38, of Russia being a guardian to these nations and protecting them. That's exactly what's going to happen. But let me read this. This is Jeremiah 51, and I'm going to start from 1. I'm going to jump there about. It says Jeremiah 51 and 1. It says, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon. Babylon is America. The confusion. The word Babylon just means confusion, which America is the country that pushes that confusion. You're free to be, the LGBT community. You're free to do everything because that's democracy. You know what I mean? Anything that is wrong, they push that. All right? And so they oppress a man and his heritage. That's what America does, Babylon. So raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And that wind is what? Thermonuclear destruction. That's the wind that's gonna, when the bomb drop and the radiation and the wave push off, you know what I mean? That's the wind that's referring to. Alright? And we'll send unto Babylon fanners, burn America, that shall fan her and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. So these countries that here are strongly supporting Russia and other allies to Russia. They are going to turn against America strongly, and they're going to empty America. All right? It says, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. Right? Those are the missiles. And against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, if I'm pronouncing that right, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her hosts. So everyone that is on that landmass of America, when the missiles are fired, if you're not beamed up into a chariot, or you're not offshore or something like that, you are going to be destroyed by thermonuclear destruction when that time comes, because America is going to go up in flames. And if you look at how the world is setting right now, all the missiles are basically pointing mainly towards America. It might sound as if I look at Russia to some people, because NATO is out there. But when NATO switch, then all missiles gonna be aimed for majority at America. You know what I mean? Or most missiles will be aimed at America. Let's put it that way. Let me jump to verse 7. It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all her drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. So these nations are upset. Look, America destabilize the entire world, man, and try to take with resources. You know what I mean? And I think the brothers poster, they were advising us to listen to, I think they call it Running Africa on a radio program, and she was bringing out what Biden said that they're going to do with the money. With, I think they were allocating certain amount of money to the people in the Middle East after waging war on them for so much years, falsely, because there was no weapon of mass destruction found, right? But they invade the people of them country, take them resources, and cause genocide over there, killing much for years. They've been doing it. Now they're planning to provide those people back with money, but they're gonna decide how it is spent, and the money gonna be spent mainly. It's basically thieving the people the money. You're gonna give back, but you're not giving back the money to the people, basically. I don't remember exactly how the information actually goes, but that's exactly what they're doing. They're pretending to help, but not helping. You know what I mean? The money is really going back to them. That's robbery. That's how America is the biggest thief when it comes to world dominance, yo. The so-called white man overall. You know what I mean? But let's continue. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. All for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. So those American lovers, these Babylonian lovers, the Bible is saying, cry for her if you think that she's going to get healed. But she won't be healed. Right? America will not be healed. America will not be restored. America will not be coming back to greatness. Like they say, make America great again. No, it's not going to happen. What is coming to America is destruction, total destruction. Alright? By the weapons of ICBM missiles, or ICBM, thermonuclear missiles. Right? Let's continue. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. Forsake her. This is the mindset. Forsake America. Take your mindset off America. Stop thinking about America as the land of opportunity and whatever. Come out of the democratic way, the democracy way them try push. Come out of their beliefs, basically. Learn your heritage. For you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans predominantly, you are the true biblical Israelites, and you should be turning back to your heritage, what the Bible basically provide you with. All right, that's your history, that's your future, that's your presence. All right, learn who you are. All right, and the world is already turning against America in many ways. All right, let's continue. It says, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. The world is seeing American nakedness. They are being revealed. Let's continue. Jump to verse 11. It says, make bright the arrows, gather to shields. The Lord had raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, Salakia. For his device is against Babylon, and that's Russia. Russia is the king of the Medes, right? Or Putin, basically, right? Are those people that are supporting in that region. Their device will be against America to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. And remember, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you were in slavery in Babylon mostly. Alright, so the vengeance of the Lord is going to be taken on that land mass, because millions of lives, right, from them time till now, blood would have soaked the earth in that region, and those are the lives of our people, you Israelites. And the Most High is going to burn that land to cleanse it, or to make it become a habitation of devils, as it says, destroy. And I mean, the bloods of those people that commit those genocides, and just basically taking vengeance as a state. So I'm gonna cut this real there. I was gonna say short, but I don't think this is a short lesson like planned. You know what I mean? So the agenda is clear. The destabilizing of these countries are only for the benefit of America, and the world is gonna recognize this. That hey, America is going around causing. Look in the South China Sea, around that region. The same thing is taking place. They are trying to destabilize that region, doing the same thing. So their actions are not even that hard to see. If you just look around the world, the same thing is being done in multiple places. It is not hard to see. The Bible said they're revealing America, they're revealing Babylon, and Babylon's curse is being lifted up. So the world can see. It's just if that they look, they will see. So that I'm gonna say again. I'm gonna say Shalom.